Hello, my name is also Doliner. Today I'll be performing lap 7.
We begin with part A. Here our Q output is displayed by LED 0 and our clock input is shown by switch 1 and the D input is shown by switch 0. Now if we put the clock input to a high, we can see that our D input is not being passed to the output. If we however switch this, we can see that we can modify the state of the D output. If we were to put a high into the D output and then close the latch, we will see that the high value will be maintained by the Q output. And we can no longer modify it until we make the clock transition to a 0. This is it for part A. So we move to the parent-child latch. Right now we have our clock signal set to high, and we have our, first of all, same as before, so switch 1 is the clock, switch 0 is the D input. We have LDR1 being our Q output and LDR0 being our not Q output. So right now, if I load a value into the parent, like this, I load a 1 right now to the parent. When I switch this back to low, I can see then the child reflect the output of a 0. Or a 1 in this case, sorry. And when I go back, and let's set it back to high again, now the parent, I can fade it out to a 0. And now, since I have fed the value of 0 to a parent, when I change the clock input to a 0, I should then see the Q output reflect a 0. This is it for part B. We begin with part C. Right now I have switch 0 as the D input, switch 9 as the clock input. I have LDR0 as QC, LDR1 as QB, and LDR2 as QA. If I change the D input, I can see the output reflected at QA because this is the latch, and I have a negative clock, so the clock is now at 0. If I change this to a 1, I can see that when I make a positive transition, the D flip-flop is going to react to it as such, and when I turn it back down, I can see that now the negative edge triggered flip-flop is going to activate. If I turn this back to low, because I'm in a negative clock, so the clock is yet at 0, QA is going to react to it like as normal. And if I turn it back up, I can see that now the B, so QB is going to react to it, but QC is not. So right now when I turn it back down, I can see that the flip-flop turns directly off. And this is it for this lab experiment.